Ace, and if you haven't heard, the brand new Ace at Large podcast comes out every Thursday. And what the Ace at Large podcast is built around these days is the idea that you are not alone. Whatever you may be going through, whatever you may be dealing with, you are not alone. And what we need for the podcast is you. We need your stories, your ideas, your concepts. Tell us how you overcame something. Tell us what you dealt with in life and how you conquered it, because the idea is what you've dealt with in the past is going to make it easier for someone else to deal with whatever it is they might be going through. And that's something special. So you've got all the information down here below me on the screen. Contact me. Tell me about your story. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about what you've overcome. And we'll see if we can't provide others with the help that they need. All right. It's the Ace at Large podcast, available every Thursday. And I would love to hear from you.
This is the Radio Button Network. And this is the new Ace at Large podcast. Ace at Large podcast. Now, your host, Ace.
So this is an edition of the Ace at Large podcast that is 18 years in the making. Well, at least 12 years, because today we have a very special guest on the Ace at Large podcast. That is my son, Cade, is here.
Hello, radio family.
This is something we started with his sister a couple of years ago, a few years ago, when she graduated high school. Is that I told both of them, hey, the week that you graduate high school, come on, and we'll do kind of a recap of your life, something that you'll always have to kind of remember where you were at this moment in time, things that you thought about, things that you love, things you were interested in, and an opportunity to kind of look back over the life that you've had at this point. And Saturday, Cade graduates high school. Now, to be perfectly honest, emotionally, I'm barely keeping it together when it comes to this. Because obviously it's a big thing for me, as it is for you, as big as it is for you. Yeah. So it's a big thing that Cade graduates high school this week. So we're just going to kind of put aside what we normally do on the Ace at Large podcast and share time father and son today. And I hope that you enjoy kind of tagging along for the journey that has been Cade's life and our life together and our life as a family and all these different things. So first, how excited are you for Saturday?
I want to say I should be more excited, but yeah, I don't know how it's going to go due to how like COVID and everything. I think it's going to go well because they just lifted the mask mandate for us.
Right.
So we don't have to wear masks. I'm just not looking forward to be wearing a whole thing and then also having to wear pants and everything, because that's going to be
which has been a point of contention, that Cade was upset that they can't wear shorts under their graduation gown. They have to wear pants. And my point was, of course you're going to wear pants. You're going to wear nice pants. You're going to look. It's a formal event, so to speak.
I get that, but
I want you to act as if it's a formal event, because if you do anything foolish, I will come out of those stands and beat you half to death in the middle of that football field.
I'm not going to be the idiot that tries to do a backflip.
Thank you. You walk across the stage. You shake their hand. You walk down.
Done.
They take your picture. Keep it moving.
I'm gonna keep it moving.
All right.
I don't plan on being the idiot that tries to do a backflip and fails miserably.
That's right. Just take it easy. So what do you do now? The question everybody asks at this time is, what's next for Cade? You know, everybody that I've talked to, what's Cade gonna do next? So you're not sure what you want to do.
I know I'm doing Mitchell for 2 years, but
Mitchell is community college in the city where we live, just north of Charlotte.
I'll do that for 2 years, but then I still got to figure out what I want to major in. Still don't know that. I'm torn between either something to do with family, sports marketing, or something with radio, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And then backup plan, all else fails, real estate agent.
No, okay. Why is real estate agent the backup plan?
Because I got the Temples, who we've been friends with for forever, and that's what they do. And I've always been told I can be really good at that. So I was like, you know what? Maybe if all else fails, I can go to Mr. Temple. Okay. He can run me through it.
And I can back you up. Let me share a quick story. Then we were on a vacation. They're family friends. We've known them forever. And we were in Key West one year on vacation. And I was sitting talking, Kent Temple and we're all sitting out by the pool. And Kent goes, look at that. Cade, you were how old? Probably 6, 7?
I think 7. I want to say 7.
7 or 8, maybe 8. And Kent said, that kid can sell real estate. I said, what makes you think that? Cade had just jumped into the pool and made friends. Never shy. Cade always makes friends. And he had made friends. And then after a couple minutes, he was kind of directing the game that they had going. And he said, you can't teach that. He said, you can't teach somebody who's not afraid to jump in and have a conversation with someone. And I said, well, math is not Cade's strong suit.
No.
And he said, "Look, it's real estate. I can get somebody to do the math. I can't get anybody that
Nope.
that can do that." So that's kind of where that's. He's always told you that you
yeah.
probably could be a good real estate agent. So we'll see. So, but there's nothing like when I was your age. I already knew. I knew when I was going to LSU. I was going to major in broadcast journalism. I was probably going to go into radio because I felt like I liked that more than I liked television because I was around music and all that. And you and I have always been very different people. Cade's very laid back, but there's nothing like you don't have a burning desire in life to do anything in particular, do you?
Not really.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like as long as I enjoy, like whatever I find that I do, if I enjoy it, I'll be fine. As long as I enjoy it, I'll be okay with it.
And we'll figure it out. You'll figure it out when you get there.
When I get there, I'll get there.
So do you have any idea, ideally in your life, what would your future look like? You're 3 days away from high school graduation. Where would you be in 10 years, 20 years, whatever?
I'm hoping at least, if not, like I would like to have a house by 10 years. If not, which I don't think will happen, at least a good apartment with like I have a good group of friends. I still have friends like you do. Like if I want to go hang out, I have them and like just stuff like pretty much like that.
Okay. No wife, kids, nothing in the next 10 years?
Maybe girlfriend, no wife, not yet.
Okay.
I still got at least close to my 30s before that starts to happen.
Well, in 10 years, you'll be 28.
I'll be 28, yeah, but it's still got like 35 and continue on.
Okay. So you're not looking to get married until later in life?
Not right now.
All right.
Unless the right one comes along, then maybe. But until then, I don't know.
What would the right one look like for you?
I don't, as long as like who they like me for me, who I am, even though I'm a little bit laid back. Can't cook.
Well, you can improve on that.
I can improve on that, but I'm still like, as long as they like me for me and like enjoys me.
What are the criteria? What are the main things? So that's the main thing is that they need to like you for you.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't really go like I would like her to look amazing, but at the same time though, if it looks not that my thing, if as long as they like me for me and who I am, I'm cool with it.
Okay.
I have no issue with it.
What about this? Have you thought about being a house husband? The guy that runs the house. You have to learn how to cook. You have to do all of the like you do the cleaning and run the house and
I could do the clean. I can do everything. I can do pretty much everything. I would just have to work on the cooking part because I suck at cooking.
Yeah, that's true. You're not a very good cook.
I even took a cooking class in high school. I still suck.
You're terrible at cooking. Yeah. Even after your class, you didn't. I mean, you passed the class.
I passed. Well, the only thing we cooked in the class was cookies and one time chicken. That was it. All we made was cookies. That was it.
So I've always thought you could be a good house husband. You could learn to adapt to those other things.
I mean, I'm kind of
so if you had a wife who was very successful, you could kind of run the house and
flip flopping with Peyton. Peyton was going to be a housewife. I can be a house husband.
Well, Peyton was going to wanted to be a trophy wife. That was her stated desire in life was to be a trophy wife. So, and obviously that'll come up later. Do you have like favorite memories of school? Because your last year, spring break of your junior year, COVID hit.
Yeah, the Sunday.
And there was no going to class again until January, when you were allowed to go for 1 day a week, and you went twice and said, I'm not doing that anymore because you still had to be on Zoom. And then you stayed on the Zoom thing throughout the end of the year. What memories do you have of high school? What did you have favorite high school or school memories?
Freshman year, the first day going to school with Peyton. That was my first time. I got to ride to school with her.
Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know, Peyton is Cade's older sister who died last July. And that's a big one. Never will I ever forget your first day because she loved telling me about you in the car, wanting to know, is this what the high school kids do? Is this how the high school kids, what are we going to do now? The road, the long line to turn. And she knew all the tricks because she was a senior, how to drive around the thing and the whole deal. That was a big day for both of y'all.
You drove through Kickback, and then you exit Kickback, and you went through the QT parking lot, and then you got on the road, and that's how you skipped that part. And then at the red light, instead of going to red light, you went straight, turned around at the church, and then came back, and that's how you got to school.
It's a bad traffic situation.
Yeah. She loved taking me to school, yet refused. I understand why, but yet refused to take me home. I was forced to ride the bus
because seniors get out 10 minutes before everybody else, and so she was gone.
But the thing was, she really wasn't. I almost got out almost every time because she got stuck in the parking lot because how far back she was.
So That's your favorite
That's
high school memory.
one of them.
Okay.
My second favorite one was our fight week at school.
Yeah. They had a week that they had a lot of fights, and they told them any more fights, we'll shut down the school for 3 days and send everybody home.
So that was
just a memorable thing. Yeah.
That was freshman year. I want to say sophomore year.
He wasn't involved in any fights. He was just like, Dad, that's crazy. People are fighting.
I just happened to be at every single one though.
Yeah.
I just happened to be around every single one.
There you go.
I want to say, what was sophomore year? I can't remember if it was.
I don't need a memory from every year, so
Okay.
we only have 30 minutes.
Okay, I would say that's a few of my memories. I will say the memory of some kids set our bathroom on fire. That was a good one.
Yeah.
We had a bathroom set on fire.
That one. Yeah, Cade called me one day. It was like 11:30 in the morning. I was here at work and answered the phone. And you can hear something in the background. And within an instant, when your kid is on the phone and they should be in class, and you hear in the background noise and sirens, it's like, it takes about a third of a second for your heart to go, like, oh my God, what is this? Because I said, hello. And he goes, hey, Dad. And I hear sirens in the background, and I can clearly tell he's outside. And Cade says, guess what happened? I'm like, Cade, are you okay? He goes, oh yeah, I'm fine. I said, why are you outside? He goes, because some kid set a fire in the bathroom and we had to leave. I said, why are you calling me? He goes, I just thought I'd tell you, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, good story for the radio.
A, I got stuff going on, and B, don't be freaking me out like that. With that, I was scared to death for about 2 seconds there.
But no, that was like a few of my great memories. Though I will say I'm happy I at least got a prom this year.
Yeah, you did get to have a prom.
Didn't get one last year, even though I had a date and everything ready to go. That got canceled last year because of COVID.
What are and we got to take a break, but I want to know, we got a lot of stuff to get into, including your sister and things we've attended, because I think you have lived partly due to my desire to attend things. You've lived a pretty charmed life as far as getting to go to cool stuff if you're a sports fan, because you were my excuse to do everything sports related that I'd ever wanted to go do. Give me any more favorite childhood memories, anything that, but just one memory that immediately pops into your head when it comes to favorite childhood memories.
Well, I don't remember it. I do remember it, but I wasn't the one that actually remember watching it when we flew in to I think Key West, was it? No, we were at Key West, and I refused to get in the water with the what was it?
No, we were in the
Cayman Islands. I refused to get in the water with
little what do they call the manta rays or whatever. We went out to this island on a little charter thing. It was 4 families that all went together, and Cade was about 5, 6.
I did not want to get in that water,
and everybody was in the water, and we had one adult and Cade that stayed on the boat. So we're like,
someone carried me at one point. Someone who was it? Miss
Bonnie carried you
That's
down,
what it
and
was.
they were passing you around, and everybody was down. And you put your arms out, they swim up to you, and you kind of raise them up out of the water and put them back down. Everybody was getting their picture taken. I took them on the boat, and I was like, Cade, come do this. And Cade was like, no,
I'm good.
No. And I was like, let's talk about it. He goes, no,
Nope.
I'm not talking about it. He just wouldn't. He refused. And he was like 6 years old. I was like, no, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing it. And we're like, it's fun. And Peyton did it. Peyton told him, like, Cade, you got to come try. He's like, that's not happening. He was the only one that didn't do it. He's like, I'm going to stay right here on this boat.
I was safe on the boat. I was fine.
So we got a lot of ground to cover. We've kind of just I'm curious about like what's important to you now. I want to know what your thoughts on the baseball trip that we take every year. What your year's obviously been like, because you've had a really difficult senior year for a variety of reasons. I don't want to get into that. And a lot of cool stuff on the Ace at Large podcast. Hang on.
There's more of the new Ace at Large podcast next.
At Team Stowe, we want to make the home buying process an enjoyable experience.
Curtis, myself, and our entire team are here to help connect you with the best builders and realtors in the area, so you can find the perfect home to make memories in.
Contact us when you're ready to see how we can help.
Welcome back to the new Ace at Large podcast.
So it's a little bit different today. My son Cade is here. And I told both of my kids that before you graduate high school, the week of, we do a podcast together. And it gives you kind of a marker in time, something for you to look back on and remember your thoughts, your feelings. Let's talk about your senior year, because due to COVID, you didn't have all those things that I remember from my senior year and those things that most people remember. And I compared a lot to your sister because y'all went to the same high school and all that kind of time, and we're in the same time frame. Cade was a freshman when Peyton was a senior. So you didn't have the football season occurred at literally the end of the school year.
Same with basketball.
Yeah, you didn't have all the different stuff where the seniors had their section and all that. It wasn't the same.
No.
Your experience was different. You didn't get to drive to school the first day of your senior year as a senior and park where the seniors park and roll into school walking through those doors as the head of the school for the first time, that kind of thing.
The first time I drove up to that school for the first time was to just go do my senior photos and then walk right back out.
Yeah. So, and that was not until what, December, November, something like that?
Around there.
So what has the experience been like for you? Weird, strange, good, bad, what?
Weird a little bit, but at the same time good, because even though I never got like my actual senior year at school, I still had like my group of friends that we all would hang out. That was like the plus about COVID for us, was that even though we weren't able to go to school, but because we weren't technically at school, once we were done like with classes on Zoom, because some of my classes, we didn't have Zooms every day.
Mhm.
So once we were done, everyone would meet up at someone's house and we all would just hang out. So we still kind of had that kind of this senior year.
Okay. So you trying to make somewhat of a memory or
Oh,
get
yeah.
to spend time with friends and all that kind of stuff. So in a couple of weeks, Father's Day weekend, which couldn't work out better this year, our baseball trip picks up.
Mhm.
When Cade was 6, we went to Atlanta, and Cade and I went by ourselves. We went as a family to Atlanta, and then Cade and I went by ourselves to see the Braves play. And it was the start of what I have we've called the baseball trip. Every year, Cade and I go to a different major league stadium, just the two of us. And when we did year 1 was Atlanta. Then we went to Baltimore the next year. Then we went to Tampa, and we've been to Cincinnati and Cleveland and Pittsburgh
Washington.
and Kansas City and Washington and
San Francisco.
We went to Oakland, technically. We
Oakland.
stayed in San Francisco, but the game was in Oakland, and we went to Houston. And last year, we were set to go to Chicago to see the White Sox.
And then COVID.
We had an awesome trip planned, but then COVID came. And I remember when the baseball season started, Kate asked me about it, and I was like, no, this is a virus thing. This thing will be over in like 6-8 weeks. By the end of May, it'll be fine. And it turns out couldn't have been more wrong about that. And we didn't get to go. So we're going back. We're going to Dallas this year to see the Texas Rangers play. And what about that? What are your memories of the baseball trip? Is there one that stands out to you as your favorite one all time?
Probably Oakland. I have a few. Oakland's one of my favorite ones because we somehow got lucky to find that giant arcade room, and also like the submarine you got to go in.
Yeah.
And then we got to visit Alcatraz, which when we go back, we got to do the night one.
Yeah. So you get to go back. We stayed in San Francisco, and you take the BART, which goes under the bay and comes out in Oakland, which is like a different world, like a third world country when you go into Oakland all of a sudden that way. But yeah. And we found, we just stumbled upon this arcade. It was awesome. That was a great trip.
There was that in Oakland, and then one of my other ones was Cleveland because we got to go, which I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did, was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I could not believe how much you liked the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I was like, this is not gonna be fun, and actually I got to learn stuff. I was like, this is actually interesting.
Kate had a great time. We spent way more time at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame than I ever expected to.
Oh yeah.
And then the ball game ended. We got to see a walk-off right in front of us. The Cleveland Indians won, fireworks, the whole thing. It was great. Walked back to our hotel. It was awesome.
The other reason Oakland was my favorite is because I've been to, I forget how many we've been to now. 8, 9?
No, 12, 13, something like that. Yeah.
How many we've been to? Oakland was the first one I got baseball at. It took me forever, and I finally got one.
Yeah. Okay. This will be 12.
Yeah.
This year will be our 12th one.
Yeah. It took me 11 baseball games to finally get one baseball.
All right. What other events stand out? Because you have been to lots of LSU football games and traveled to play. We've been to Atlanta. We've been to Knoxville. You weren't alive when we went to Knoxville. We've been to Atlanta.
No.
We've been to Baton Rouge several times for LSU games. We've been to the NCAA basketball tournament a few times. You've been to numerous races, into the pits, WrestleMania when you were in the 6th grade.
That was a good one.
Tons of professional basketball games, concerts, on the field for pregame at a Panthers game once. That kind of stuff. What of all that stuff, your events stands out to you?
WrestleMania was my favorite one out of all of them, only because I was a little kid and I was a big wrestling fan still at the time.
You were in the 6th grade.
But
yeah.
I got to go to WrestleMania at New Orleans, which was the first time they ever went there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like I went to WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania, but I also went to
All Access.
All Access, which they have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Really wanted to buy a belt. you shut me down there.
$450. We were not buying a
But
belt.
it was so
It
cool.
wasn't-
I'm still tempted to buy one.
We bought well, you've got your own money now.
True.
So you want to spend it, feel free. But you weren't spending my money
But
on
no, and
$450 worth of
and then
wrestling belt.
And I got to do the where you jump off the high rope into the foam pit, which you want to do, but they shut you down with that.
They said I was too big. Adults weren't allowed to do that. But yeah, you get to go off the top rope into a foam pit. It
Yeah.
was amazing. And they were like, it's kids only. So.
And then we got to watch a little bit the NXT because they
Right.
had that there. And then which we didn't know until later, was right behind us was Ric Flair doing autographs.
Right. And then while we finally made it to WrestleMania, it opened, WrestleMania 30 opened with Hulk Hogan. And then the surprise was Hulk Hogan, while he was talking, Stone Cold comes out. And then while they're talking, The Rock came out. And I could have gone home then. It was amazing.
Not me wishing I had a phone back then because I could record myself getting thrown around by you because you got so excited and you actually having a childhood
So
moment.
here's the story. We had pretty good seats.
Well, we had great scenes.
And Hulk Hogan is talking. And then out of nowhere, glass breaks. It's Stone Cold's entrance. 75,000 people. Place goes crazy. Crazy. Me and Cade going crazy. Like, oh my God, it's Stone Cold. And as this was happening, after like 2 minutes, suddenly you hear, if you smell. It's like, oh my God, The Rock is coming. So Cade was little. He was standing up and I was sitting in my chair. And when it hit, the lights swung around and the place went ballistic. We're in the Superdome in New Orleans. And I remember grabbing Cade by the sleeve and I was like, and I may have said to my 6th grade son, oh shit, it's The Rock. And I was pulling him back and he was like, I know. And he's like, you're trying to get off my arm. Like, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have said the
By
S
the way,
word, but okay.
You may have. I'm pretty sure you did.
I know I did. I know I said it then. And I was like, I should not have said that. And then The Rock came out. And then and the whole night was great. We had the best time.
We also got to see.
But we're walking out. Go ahead. We got to see.
We also got to see the Ultimate Warrior because they had everyone from the Hall of Fame that year come out too.
Yeah, he died like the next day.
You did.
And then great night. We're leaving. And we're walking out and Cade is walking to my left. And it's like after 11 o'clock in New Orleans. And we're going to walk down the street back to our hotel, which is probably not the safest thing. It's like 75,000 people. What could go wrong, right? And we're just walking along. And I look down at Cade and we kind of made eye contact. And he just goes, greatest day of my life.
And to this day, it still kind of is.
And I was like, that's the coolest thing. That's the coolest thing ever. That I was able to bring you to something that at that point, I mean, you're in the 6th grade, but you didn't have to say that. You were just like, you weren't even telling me like, hey, you're just like, this is the greatest day of my life. Like, I can't believe what's happening today. This is the greatest day ever.
It was also my first time ever in New Orleans for the first time.
It was like that little moment though is really stands out to me. I can see your face and how I knew where we were. You're walking along and you just out of nowhere just kind of muttered to nobody. This is the greatest day of my life.
That was a great moment. But my recently great moment was going to the LSU Oklahoma game because I finally thought that would be a close, fun game. That wasn't even a close game at all, and that was just a whole.
For Cade's Christmas in 2019, his Christmas gift was because I bought him tickets because I knew he would want to go to the national semifinal game, LSU Oklahoma, in Atlanta, and somebody had to take him because you don't just let him go by himself. It's like somebody's got to go down there with him because that's not safe to go to Atlanta. So I went with him. I gave of myself enough to go with him. And we had an awesome time. We just, again, another one of those trips that could not have worked out any better. Everything fell into place.
Oh, yeah.
Perfectly.
Had a great night, spent the night with Peyton, and then woke up that morning and you picked. No, I got dropped off or you picked me up and then we left.
You
picked me up. No, you picked me up.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot you spent the night with Peyton in her apartment.
We hung out because Peyton needed help.
Yeah.
Putting shelves together. Only her help was having me come help her because she didn't want to do it by herself.
Yeah. She had just moved into that apartment over there.
Oh, yeah.
At that time. That was in December of 2019, which probably was that the last time you spent the night over there?
It was the first and last time.
Okay.
I was the first one ever to spend the night there, too.
So let's talk about that for a minute. This is your podcast. It's about you. It's whatever else you want to talk about. But let's talk about your sister for a minute because obviously, this week is not how anybody would have envisioned it.
No.
So how have you done? I know how you've done with that, but just talk a minute about how you've done since, she died in July.
I think better than I expected. it wasn't one of those like it took me a while not to get over it, but like to get better. For me, it was walking her casket out of the funeral home, and then once it was like it was set and was done, like at her burial site, I knew instantly right then there it was over with.
Okay, wait, slow down. I knew sometimes when Cade gets excited, he talks a little bit too fast. So you said you walked it to the burial site.
Yeah, when we walked it to the burial site and like we sat down, I knew at that moment that I had just laid my sister to rest, and I knew instantly at that point I was good because that's what I wanted to do, and I felt needed to.
And why was that important? Because I remember from the first time that we got there, when all of this happened, you pulled me aside and you said, Dad, two things if possible. I want to walk her casket out after the funeral with her friends, and kind of roll the casket out.
Yeah.
And then we flew to Louisiana, where she's buried in Louisiana. And then you said it's important that I get to be one of the people that carries the casket to the grave, one of the pallbearers. Why was that important to you? Because it was super important.
Because all the memories that Peyton's friends had given her, I felt like I owed them, but like I felt it'd be a cool thing to like, give them and help them closure, let them know they're like walking her like send her home, and then the walker to bury her, to be a pallbearer to me was important because me and Peyton I would carry Peyton. Once I got able to carry her, I would always do it. Like she'd always want me to give her a piggyback ride anytime I could, or carry all of her stuff. So I felt like if this is like the last time I'll see her, at least I know I can carry her to her resting place and put her to sleep at least for the final time. So it's a thing that was important to me because I felt like as the younger brother, she gave me so many great memories that I felt like I had to do it. Not like I had to, but at the same time I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Same like at her funeral, I wasn't gonna speak, not once.
Oh God. So at her funeral, we just left it open for a minute. Like, hey, if anybody would like to get up and say something, please feel free. Because we wanted people to share their stories about her. And a few people did. And Pastor Jamie gave a moment at the end. Jamie, who baptized both Peyton and Cade, he said, we have time for one more. And suddenly, Cade stood up. And you could feel the room. Everybody just like, because it had been her friends had spoken and one of her old bosses had spoken and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know if you felt that when you stood up. Did you?
No, I just felt like what I felt wasn't like, I just sat there. I was like, I'm not going to speak. And then he said, we have time for one more person to talk. And in the back of my head, it hit me like, if I don't speak, I will regret this for the rest of my life. So I was like, at this point, I might as well do it. I got up. I expected to like get up there and freeze and not know what to do. And I said one thing, and it just kept going and rolling. I kept going with it.
I've told you. I'm not telling you anything that I've never told you. It slayed the room. Crushed.
I knew it crushed.
Do what?
I knew it crushed the room.
Yeah, it was really good and from the heart. And if anybody ever said, "Who is your son?" Well, that's my proudest moment of you. Hands down, for all the cool things that you've done. It epitomizes why I'm so proud of who you are. Because it was your heart and your spirit and your sense of family and your show of appreciation to others who had been kind to you and done for you and our family during a difficult time. And you were funny in your own unique way. And more than anything, it was heartfelt.
Probably shouldn't have ended it talking about playing water pong. That wasn't a good way to end it.
But that's okay. And it was honest, just like you're always, Cade's very honest. And it was you showing appreciation to people who'd helped you, which has always been a big thing with me and your mom. And it was you showing your love for your sister. And when you stood up, people just kind of went like, oh God, Cade's going to speak.
Like I didn't,
but not in a bad way. Like, oh my God, are we ready for this?
It wasn't that I felt it, but I did hear like a few people like take a breath for a second.
And the room was packed. What I didn't know then, that chapel was packed. The other chapel was packed.
Oh yeah.
And then on there was a second overflow room that had some people in it, and then on YouTube, people were watching it live. There's like 4,000 or 5,000 people watching it at one time live at that time, which is I didn't know that either. But and you just slayed the room. You just killed it. You were phenomenal.
Mhm.
And again, though, it's one of my proudest moments of you ever. What has Peyton used to always talk about when you started in high school, leading up to it, how difficult it would be for her watching you go through your senior year when you graduate. And I've thought about that a lot this week. And you were almost to your first day of your senior year when she died.
I had August.
Yeah.
Like a few weeks.
Couple weeks, 2 weeks. I think it was essentially 2 weeks before you started school, she died. So she'd always talked about how bad that first day of high school was going to be, how she was going to cry and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And she couldn't wait for it. She was very excited for it. But what's the year been like? Just tell me what it's been like. How have you dealt with that?
It's been like, for most people, it would be like sad. For me, it's like weird because it was not one of those I have my moments each and there where like I wish she was there, but at the same time, like it's like not, it doesn't hit me a lot. Mainly it's because I have my friends, family, like I have Amanda, Toby, I have the O'Learys, all of them. Toby's her dog, if no one knows.
Yeah.
I have mom and them, and I have my friends. But then more importantly, I felt like what helped me the most is knowing, even though I can't see her, I know she's watching. And that was the thing for me because I've had moments where I just would hear her call my name, which is weird. I would like look up and I'd walk in her bedroom thinking she's there, and I'd be like, well, she's not. But it's weird to me because like I can hear it clear as day. So that's how I knew she was still, even though she's not here in person, she's still there watching. And then I have my moments where I could be playing video games. I feel like my chair would move for no reason. That's Peyton messing with me because she'll do it to me all the time. She's scared me playing video games, so she'll take my headset. It's been weird, but at the same time, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like my bad days I've had was like my birthday and my first day of senior year. Well, my first day of senior year wasn't that bad because COVID kind of didn't do anything. Mainly it was my birthday that was like the worst I've had since my birthday. I've really had like my worst month. That was my last one.
Was your birthday?
Was my birthday because she was more inside for my senior year. She was more excited to see me turn 18 for the first time, and she was like ready for it and everything. Because we talked about I was talking about turning 17 when we went to the beach trip. She teared up because she hated not being. She wasn't like the only one that could understand me when I was a little kid.
Yeah,
and I know for a fact I've told mom this that my next moment will be at graduation. I'll have a moment eventually. I don't know when it'll hit me, but it'll hit me eventually. But it's been fine. Like it's been weird, but at the same time, it's been like a fine weird. Like I've been okay, and at the same like I've had moments where I'm not, but like at the same time, like I said, putting her to rest was what made me know I'm like it's okay to be fine now.
she'd be very proud of you.
I hope so.
Oh, I know so. So you mentioned Amanda and her family and Toby, and that's certainly something that has been introduced to your life over the course of the past few years.
Oh yeah,
and that, and what's important to you and all, we'll get into next. Hang on.
There's more of the new Ace at Large podcast next.
What's Share Funny? It's a show from TJ that's funny enough to share on social media. Hear Share Funny live from 9 to 10 Eastern, 8 to 9 Central each weekday morning on the Ace and TJ button. Available on our app and now on iHeartRadio.
Welcome back to the new Ace at Large podcast.
So my son Cade is here. He graduates from high school on Saturday. And I did this with your sister when she graduated high school. You get your very own podcast. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I just remembered this a minute ago. Is there anything you want to talk about on here? Do you have any questions or anything like that? Because I gave her the same opportunity. So is there anything you want to ask me ask me about from your life or anything at all? So if you don't have anything, we'll move on to something else. That's fine. I just want to give you the same opportunities that I gave her.
By any chance, what was the most? I know there was one story. I know that there was one moment that you were upset with me, but at the same time, it was funny. It was the first time I ever tried you as a little kid.
Oh, we're on the back porch. We're sitting on the back porch. It was me, your mom, and I forgot. I don't remember what you had done. And
I think I didn't clean up the porch.
I don't know what it was. And somehow I may have actually popped you on your, I was like, get in there. You had gotten in trouble for something. And I said, get in there and get on that couch and be quiet. And there's a sliding glass door that walks through, and there's a big window on each side of the sliding glass door. And I could sit down in my chair outside on the patio and look through, and I could see you were about 4, I think. And Cade goes in, and he doesn't sit on the couch. He leans backward against the arm of the couch, and he crosses his arms like this, and he goes. And so now we've made eye contact, and now I'm looking right at him, and he's looking at me, and he's just staring. He's not blinking. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch, look at this. So I'm just sitting there staring at him, and your mom was sitting out there. We were sitting out there together, and she goes, what are y'all doing? I said, oh, he's trying me now. Now he's going to try me. Okay. I said, I'm going to sit here and stare at him. She goes, are you serious right now? I said, oh, yeah. Uh-huh. I said, look at him, just staring. And then finally I realized, I don't know how long he can do this. He might not ever blink. I don't know. He's like 4 years old. I don't know how 4-year-old eyes work. And I finally figured out, oh, I have an out here. And I stood up and opened the door. And I said, get on the couch. Put your little butt on that couch and sit down. And I went back out there, and he walked around, and because he was literally had to push himself up on the couch. And when he gets up there, he's looking like this through the window. And when we made eye contact, he goes. I was like, look at this little bastard right here. And he sat there. And he just sat there the whole time. It was it was the first time that you'd ever really like pushed your luck a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll never forget. That and when you were going to run away one day, you got mad at me about something. You go, I'm going to run away.
I don't think I did.
No, you didn't run away. I have a picture of you.
No, I thought that was Peyton.
No, you said you were going to run away. And I said, well, good. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Huh.
And you said you were in your baseball uniform. We had a baseball game today. We come in from a baseball game. You were mad about something. And I said, well, do whatever. I said, okay. Well, I said, look, if you're going to run away, get it over. I got stuff to do. I need you to get going. And you went outside into the garage and closed the door. And about 10 minutes later, I opened the door, and you had just laid down on the mat outside the garage door and fallen asleep, sound asleep in the garage, just wiped out.
I will say one of my dumbest moments, me being dumb, was when for some reason, I got upset with you because you made me pick up the newspaper because it got rained on. And I threw it in the back of the truck because you said throw in the back of the truck.
You were 15.
Right. I was 15. And I threw in the back of the truck, and then we pulled up, and then I thought, all right, that's it. And you said, no, go get a trash can. And I was like, it's not.
Yeah, wait, let me set it up real quick so people can visualize the whole thing. And then we'll make this a quick story because we got other stuff to get to here. But Cade was 15. Me and Peyton and Cade. So Peyton would have been Peyton's senior year of high school. Wait, your freshman year.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think this was in the summer because I wasn't a freshman just yet.
Well, okay, the summer before freshman year. And it had rained, and Cade was supposed to pick up newspapers off the driveway. That those things that people throw out, like whatever.
I did,
and didn't, and they were stuck to the driveway. So we pulled up, and I said, "Hey, we're in my truck." And I was like, "What are we doing with this? Why did you not pick these up?" Oh, I don't know, I forgot or whatever. I said, "Okay, well, I stopped on the driveway." I said, "Get out and pick those up." And it was starting to rain. Cade goes, "But it's raining." I said, "Well, then you better hurry and get out there. You're going to get wet." And he got out and he goes, "Nobody's going to help me?" I was like, no. It was your job to pick them up. That's all you had to do today. And so they're wet. You pick up wet paper and it starts to fall apart. And he throws it in the bed of he just pitches it over in the truck. We pull up and he gets out of the truck and he's a little aggravated and he's going to walk inside. And I said, "Hey, dude, go in there and get a bag. Come in here and get that out of the back of my truck." And out of the corner of my eye, I saw Peyton look around. She was like, and he goes, "Sir?" And I was like, "Go inside and get that back." And he was furious. Now, here's the part that I didn't know. He's furious. His head is about to explode. And I think we had gone home just to drop Peyton off. And then Cade was going to hang out with me and we're going to go watch a ball game or something. And he goes in the house and he was wearing Cade's normal favorite style is t-shirt with a shirt over it.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes in the house. And what I didn't know was he told his mom, he took his shirt off and he threw it on the couch. And she goes, "What's wrong?" And he repeated the line that I remember was, "Dad needs to know I'm 15 and things around here are about to change." Now, while that's happening, I'm standing outside with his sister, and she goes, "He is pissed." And I said, "I don't care." She goes, "Oh, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I can't wait for him to come back out." I said, "Well, I thought you were going." She goes, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm waiting to see how this finishes up." So Cade throws his shirt on the couch, and then his mom, who told me about it later, Shawnette said, "Hey, if I were you, the last thing I would do is say that when you go back outside, because that's going to be bad." She goes, "Just go outside, do what he tells you, be quiet." And here he comes through the door, trash bag, wouldn't even speak. And now I'm mad. And so I'm just standing there, and I can hear Peyton snickering behind me. And I was like, it's falling apart. I'm like, "Oh, you missed a spot right there. Pick that up. Get that." And he went to get out of the truck, and I said, "Hey, you got that? There's a little piece by your foot. Get that one." And he's throwing it in the bag now. She's so mad. And he storms away inside the house, and he's going up the steps in the garage. It's got like some steps that go up to the door. And I said, "You going to throw that away so we can get out of here and go watch the game?" And he goes, "Nope. No, sir. I think I'm going to stay here." I said, "So you're not going with me?" "No." "No." And I said, he goes, "No." And I said, "No, sir." "No, sir." And he went inside. And I remember Peyton was out there going, "Oh, he is so bad." He's like, "That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. He is so bad." And he was. And I don't think he talked to me the rest of the night. Like, I texted him later, like, "Hey, what's up?" Nope. No reply. Nothing. He didn't talk to me again until the next day. It was awesome. Just awesome. So then Amanda was introduced into your life.
Oh, yeah.
A few years ago.
At the
Were you a
race.
freshman?
I was
Was it the end of your freshman year?
Yeah, no, freshman year, because we knew it wasn't the end. It was like the middle of freshman year, because we went to the 600, which is 3 days from now. So around now.
Yeah. It would have been 3 years ago.
It was 3 years ago, around a few days from now, because the 600.
Right, so it's toward the end of your freshman year.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cade was the first person. I'll never forget. They knew I had been seeing someone after the divorce.
That wasn't hard.
They knew I'd been kind of seeing someone, but I was probably overly cautious about y'all. I was like, they'll tell me when they want to meet this person who's obviously become a force in my life. And at that moment, I was like, "Cade, look, do you want to go to the race?" Because we always got passes to go to the race. Cade always wants to go to the race. Cade always wants to go to anything. He didn't care. He's down to go. And I said, "Okay, look, just so you know, Amanda wants to go too." And Cade goes, "Okay, we're still going to the race, right?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, okay, I'm in. Totally good." So that's the first day that y'all met. And so talk about that, because that's obviously a huge change in your life. That ultimately, it's got to be weird to think that day you couldn't have envisioned that you would have ended up in Jamaica standing up at our wedding. Because honestly, I could not have envisioned that then either. So we'll see.
It wasn't bad. I will say my favorite thing was she was so afraid to ask me to do things for her. Like, she asked me to take a picture of you two, and she was so afraid to ask that one question.
She was very cautious. She didn't want you to get the wrong impression or anything like that.
She bought me ice cream.
She bought you ice cream. That's right.
It was a great day. I will say, if none of y'all know this, the way me and Peyton found out that my dad was seeing someone was he went to a concert that he asked Peyton to go to. She didn't want to go to. He asked me. I didn't want to go to. So we knew he went. And the day after the concert, we had dinner with him that night. And we asked him who he took. And he goes, "Oh, I just took a friend from the radio." That single line had set in stone that me and Peyton looked at each other and knew instantly. He went with someone. He took a date. So we kept asking him, and he wouldn't give it to us. So as we get ready to eat, he finally goes, "What would you say if I did take a date?" And at that point, Payne goes, "Dad, just tell us. We know you did." So finally, he admitted he took a date, and that's when we knew he was seeing someone for the first time.
And which didn't really matter. It was awkward for your sister because, well, Peyton and Amanda are only 7 years apart in age. So, that can be kind of awkward at times. But they really, once they met, they really hit it off.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of weird for Peyton. I understood that. But for you, it was never really weird for you, was it? You didn't care?
Because I felt like it was just it was like a new thing, like new at school. You meet a new thing you have to adapt to. I was like, all right, this is something new to me. Just adapt around it. And then I did.
And y'all have always gotten along really well.
And at the end of the day, I now have Amanda, who is an amazing stepmom. And now I have Steve and Gigi and Thurston, a great uncle, and grandma and amazing people.
I still get Cade. For Christmas, we gave them a picture, and it says something like "Grandkids make the world go round." It's just a picture of Cade at his junior prom, or at the prom. Cade
No,
standing-
homecoming.
junior homecoming. Cade standing out there was like what you expect to see little kids, and we gave Amanda's brother Thurston, who's what 3 years older than you.
I think so.
3 or 4.
4.
3 or 4. He and Peyton are the same age. And so we gave him one that said, it's like world's greatest uncle. Same picture of him. And he's got it. All of them have it prominently displayed in their homes.
He's one of my greatest uncles. He's probably.
He's your only uncle.
No, he's not. I got Uncle Alan.
Oh,
And
Uncle Alan,
Uncle
Uncle Bird. Okay, my friends that Uncle Benji, you call
Uncle
him
Benji,
Uncle.
yeah, I got all
okay.
them.
That's true. That's true. That's true. He's your greatest uncle.
Oh,
He'll be happy to know that.
He's one of the greatest. I will say, going from top to bottom, it has to be Uncle Alan, Uncle Bird, Uncle Benji, and then Uncle Thurston.
Only because you've known them.
Only because I've
longer.
known,
Yeah,
but also
you've
Uncle
known them your whole life.
Uncle Alan has an amazing pool, great hot tub. That man can cook steaks for his life.
Stop ranking people, dude. Stop ranking people. So, but you said something that really touched my heart there. You said Amanda's an amazing stepmom.
Oh, she is. I'll be honest. I will only ever call her. Like, I might joke with her, call her stepmom here and there, but I only ever call her Amanda, only because I'm used to that. But also, I don't think she likes being called stepmom.
Well, you used to say Cade used to say yes, ma'am, to her all the time. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. And she was like, okay, look, please, that's enough. We don't need that. We're not that. Y'all are 10 years apart in age, so it's like it's no need to call me ma'am all the time.
She hated when I did.
What do you like? What do you like most about? Since you used the word amazing, what do you like most about having Amanda in your life?
Is that because she's like I'm farther than Peyton, but we're not that far in age, farther. But that she can kind of understand me a little bit more and like stuff like that because she's a little bit younger.
Yeah.
But also she has Toby, which is it's a plus.
Yeah.
But mainly it's because she has, instead of it being that type of stepmom who thinks because she's your stepmom she can order you around to do things.
Yeah.
She actually if she needs something, she'll ask me to do it. But at the same time, though, if she doesn't need me to do anything, she won't. But at the same time, she's always wanting to see if I want to hang out, all that type of stuff.
She takes time.
She
She cares about your life.
And she also made it way easier to adapt to becoming like a girlfriend and then your girlfriend and stepmom than I ever expected.
Oh,
that went way easier than I thought it would.
That's great. That's great. So let's talk about. I know we're running long. We got so much stuff there. I've been trying to cover so much ground. So talk about your mom.
Amazing woman.
Just talk about your mom for a minute.
She's an amazing woman. I could never be more proud to be able to call her my mom. We have our little arguments here and there, which, as they are, it's tiny and then it's over.
Yeah.
But she's the type of woman who she got from Mimi.
Mimi is her mom. For
at 10, 11 at night, if I got hungry, I could call her and be like, hey, is there any chance you can make me like a sandwich or breakfast? And she'll do it. Same as Mimi.
You really
would.
should be doing it yourself.
I really should be doing it myself. But same time, though, if I have a mom that's going to do it, as bad as it sounds, I'm taking advantage of it. And if I ever need a ride to a friend's place before I got my license, she would instantly be like, oh, yeah, I got you.
Oh, good.
Unless I upset her, and then she'd be like, no.
Well, you're very blessed in a variety of ways to have so many people that love and care for you. And I know we've gone kind of long today, but let's kind of wrap it up as we go forward. First off, anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Tell me at this point in your life, 18, about to graduate high school, what's important to you?
Family. I think me is family and friends, more importantly. Not money, not like being popular, just my small group of friends and then my family to me. Because if you have that small group of family and friends, it doesn't matter how much money you have or like how popular you have. They like you for you and who you are. And just as long as you stay, and they'll always be like, they'll stay true to you and always be like your friends and be there for you. And that's what's important to me, is to have that instead of money and fame.
You've always been that way. And I've always been super proud of you for that reason. That has been you from the time you were little, when we first saw you, you first see a kid's personality begin to show. That you've been the same exact person forever. And I have always found it to be refreshing and honest. And I used those words before: heartfelt, kind, generous. Always proud the way that if you see somebody who's in need or needs help, you're quick to help someone. could not be more proud of you. And I know that I hassle you a lot. And sometimes I'm hard on you.
Isn't that the truth?
And all that stuff. But you're a really good person. And that's all that I really ever could have hoped you would be, is a really good person.
I was taught to be that person by you and Mom. God grew me up to be that type of person. Same with Peyton.
Thank you. I'm real proud of you.
Thank you.
Boy, I love you more than anything.
Love you too.
All right. So we're done here. I love you, man.
Love you too.
All right.
This is the new Ace at Large podcast. The new Ace at Large podcast will be back next Thursday.